Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. So I am doing another top 5 video today. Last time, a couple of months ago, it was like a month ago, we did my top 5 successor chapters, which were from non-Dornian gene lines because I would be very biased in that. And this time I'm actually doing a top 5 based on the Dornian gene line. So what are my top favourite chapters that come from the lineage of Rogal Dorn, because there's just so many awesome bloody chapters that come from Dorn's gene seed because they are the best. It's simple as that. We are the Emperor's finest warriors. So let's jump in and let's get talking. Now let's start, of course, with number 5 and we'll work our way down to that number 1 spot. And coming in at number 5, I'm going to start with a bit of controversy and I'm going to get a lot of people talking because there's a lot of talk about this chapter actually, and that is Sons of the Phoenix. And that's what you really want when you talk about chapters. You want that kind of debate online. For those of you who don't know, the Sons of the Phoenix are an Ultima founding chapter. That means when Gilliman came back from the brink of death by Eldar technology, filthy Eldar, he established a brand new founding which was known as the Ultima founding, which is mainly, it's fully Primaris, and the Sons of the Phoenix are one of the, I say one of the few, but they are one of the newest chapters which are purely Primaris Marines. There's really nothing else, like there's no firstborn Marines in there at all. Now, one of the things to debate about the Sons of the Phoenix, as you could probably see by the artwork in the background, they are very, flamboyant. Now, the Sons of Dawn are not really flamboyant, especially in the name and the looks. They're very stoic, they keep themselves to themselves, very, very stubborn. We like to keep our things on the down low. Where the Sons of the Phoenix, the white armor, the pink arm, the candles, everything, that really, like over the top look. Well, I say over the top look. Black Templars are very flamboyant in their own little way, let's say. But Sons of the Phoenix, what the debate is about these is that, are they really Sons of Rogal Dorn? Personally, I think that they are, but I can see other people's thoughts on why they are not from the gene seed of Rogal Dorn, because first thing, Phoenix, and Fulgrim is known as the Phoenician, and the Phoenix symbol associated with him, of course, with the pink arm, the pink armor, Slanesh, all that kind of stuff. I can see where people are getting it from, but on a visually kind of scale, I think they're absolutely great because it's something different from what we normally see from the Imperial Fist. As I mentioned before, we're very, very stoic. We like to, build a wall, stand on top of it, look out, and just guard. Where these boys are like completely like the opposite of what you expect at Rogal Dorn. So that's why I think they're really, really cool, because even though they are Sons of Dawn, they're opposite of what we really expect the Sons of Dawn to be. So I think they're really, really cool. And they have a kick-ass colour scheme. The white and the pink and the candles and stuff like that, absolutely incredible. And that chapter symbol is amazing balls. So yes, number 5 for me is definitely Sons of the Phoenix. I absolutely love them. And my next boys, which I've actually just completed a project on, I say completed, I still got to do the chapter master yet, the new chapter master, let's say, because these boys, number 4 is the Celestial Lions. I absolutely love the Celestial Lions. I absolutely feel heartbroken about their journey and what has happened to them. Damn orc, air quotes, orc snipers doing their thing, has more or less left the chapter in ruin, and through sheer just determination, the chapter is still going strong. They have an amazing kind of creed that goes along with them. The colour scheme, the gold and the blue and, of course, the white lion, because the Celestial Lions, is incredible. I think it's one of the best colour schemes actually in the Dornian gene lineage. But going back to the story itself, like when they were like left on the brink of, let's say, extinction, and when the Great Rift happened, their homeworld was lost to chaos as well. So not only is like the chapter more or less wiped out, I think they have like 90 battle brothers left. Well, for me anyway, I've started to repopulate it in my own little headcanon, and in the official lore, as I said, there's like 90 of them left, and in the space of the Emperor book, a lot of stuff goes down. I'm not going to really spoil it in this video in case people haven't seen it, but it just left me feeling even more sorry for these chaps. And if they can go through all of this and come out even stronger, even better, even more roaring with the rage of Rogal Dorn, then they're even going to be even more incredible to me, because they just have that stoic and that just like they can withstand anything and they still keep going. A true Son of Dawn, they can receive the beating of a lifetime and still get up, dust themselves off, and still come at you even better, even stronger, and even more gloriously when they come to purge. And moving on to the top three, number three, it really has to be the Crimson Fist. Really, the Crimson Fist has to be in everyone's top three when it comes to Dornian fanboys. The Crimson Fist story for me starts not in 40k, of course, when they were first founded, because they were a second founding chapter, but they were first founded, of course, during the Scouring, and they were led by none other than Alexis Pollux. Now, for those of you who don't know who Alexis Pollux was, he's probably the greatest commander from Void Warfare that I've experienced when it comes to the Imperial Fist back on the Horus Heresy, because he was sent on the Retribution fleet by none other than Rogal Dorn to bring justice to the traitors, which happened at Isfahan. Along the way, there was warp storms, the fleet was more or less wrecked, and then they were ambushed by the Iron Warriors at the Battle of the Fal. And Perturabo had the advantage. He had the warp storms on his side, he had the numbers, he had the ships, but Alexis Pollux said, no, I'm the best here. And throughout that battle, he basically turned it around and he was pounding the living daylights out of the Iron Warriors, saying like, what, you want to ambush us? No, we're going to turn it around and we're going to make you pay for every single shot that you put into us. Of course, Rogal Dorn recalled everyone back and the fleet got a bit massacred at the end, but, you know, most of the fleet got back because we follow orders, because we're Sons of Dawn, we don't betray our orders like the heretics, and even Perturabo looked at all the screens in the book and he punched it, because the projections were looking like, well, for me anyway, that the Iron Warriors were going to lose that battle, even though they had the advantage, and that, you know, they basically jumped on the Imperial Fist and ambushed him. So that's why I love Alexis Pollux. He led that and he's amazing. He had some other big character moments in the Horus Heresy series, but then he founded the Crimson Fist, and the Crimson Fist chapter as a whole, they have a kind of a story like the Celestial Lions, nearly wiped out. Just don't let these chaps aim rockets or anything like that, because they are really not the best when it comes to that kind of stuff. But they were on the brink of extinction, but now, of course, with the Primaris turning up in Gilliman, reinforcing chapters, they're more or less, I'd probably say they are now going back up to like full strength, and they're ready to purge again once in Dawn's glorious name. The colour scheme as well, that nice dark blue and the red Crimson Fist, of course, after Alexis Pollux. Great, absolutely fantastic colour scheme, and all around great chapter with great lore, great heraldry, just absolutely love them. Now, moving on to the top two. Now, this was really, really hard, absolutely really hard, because I love both of these chapters more than probably I love anything else, more than my girlfriend, don't tell her though. Sorry. But yes, moving on to number two, I think I'd have to say, it's so hard, Executioners. Executioners as the number two slot, because I just love, again, I just love their story and what happened. The Executioners were actually on the wrong side of the Imperium at one stage at the Badab War. The Badab War is a whole probably video among itself, what happened at the Badab War with the Astral Claws and everything like that, and the Executioners, you know, they were bound by honour to stick up for the Astral Claws, and in doing so, they were regarded as traitors for a bit of a time, but of course we went on a penance crusade. But during like the Badab War, and you had other chapters showing up, much like the Space Sharks, or the Carcharodons, whatever you want to call them, and they kind of have that kind of brutal mentality to war, the Executioners. Like, I've always compared them to like a World Eater kind of legion, but more loyalist, like not as far gone as the World Eaters, of course, because that is all, you know, skulls for the skull throne, but they have that brutality and that mentality of just going in, axes, chopping people up, ripping people apart, that absolute violence, just the sheer violence that you expect from a Astartes. Like, they take it and go tenfold with it. And there was this one occasion where they actually went against the Carcharodons / the Space Sharks, who are kind of similar to the Executioners, like in that brutality and stuff like that. They both clash with each other at this I think it was like an asteroid mining base or something like that, and like when people went there to investigate what the hell happened, to find out what happened, it was just littered with Carcharodons and Executioners, because they just both smashed into each other, you know, an unstoppable force against an immovable object, and just ripped each other apart. And it was basically like a stalemate, because they just beat each other to death, and just no one came out alive about it. And it was just one of them incredible stories. Just shows off how vicious and how brutal Astartes can be. And ever since I read that, I was like, oh my god, executioners are amazing. And of course, like I mentioned, since they have that similarity to like world eaters and stuff like that, I'm a massive world eater fan. So if I was ever going to do like a chaos force, it would definitely be world eaters. So to have that kind of option on the loyalist side, and especially as Sons of Dawn, it really points out to me, you know, the axes and stuff, as I mentioned before. They're just absolutely brilliant. And of course, their founder was none other than Fafnir. Now, for those of you who don't know who Fafnir was, he was back in the Horus Heresy along with Alexis Pollux, but he was Sigismund's BFF. They were best friends. Fafnir actually saved Sigismund in this story Templar and stuff, so they were always down to clown with each other and always had each other's back. So that brotherhood for them and the Templars, for me, is another bonding why I absolutely just love the Executioners and how they started out and just everything bloody about them. And of course, the colour scheme is pretty cool as well. There's actually a bit of a debate about the colour scheme. It's like a blue / gunmetal look, but some of the newer art poses them as like pure gunmetal, like the Iron Knights and stuff like that. So that's how I basically painted mine. For those who haven't seen my Executioner Force, I just went mine with like full-on gunmetal and just really made it that grim kind of awesome colour. So yes, that is why I love the Executioners, and that is why they are number 2 for me in my top 5 Successor Chapters for the Sons of Dawn. And moving on to the final, number 1, the Kings of the Dornian Successors. It's none other than the Black Templars. Who the hell do you think it's going to be? It's the crusading sons of Rogal Dorn, dressed in black, because their rage is just an endless pit of bloody blackness. None other than Sigismund himself, the first High Marshal of the Black Templars, the Emperor's champion, who marched out on Terror and slayed every bloody Chaos champion he came across, because he's that much of a bloody badass, founded this chapter. And they don't give a damn about the Codex Astartes. They have like 6,000 plus bloody Marines. They go out, they purge, they crusade in Dawn's name. The crusade will never end for the Black Templars. It will never end. It will only end when every last one of them is dead, and that will never happen because they're just so ferocious, they're so vicious. They're bloody knights in space with swords and chains and candles and Templar crosses. It's just, I mean, tabards, everything about them. The look is just fantastic. The story, like Hell's Reach, Grimaldus, You Shall Die Here, Xenos, just everything about them is just bloody incredible. And every time they pop up in a story, every time I see an artwork or I see like a model of them, I just have to stop and just look at them and go, boy oh boy, these boys are just absolutely mind-blowingly incredible. Of course, this is just my top 5, a bit honourable shout-outs, let's say. Who've got the Astral Knights, gave their life to save the Imperium, kamikazed themselves into a Necron-like world thing, whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called now. Of course, we have like the Emperor's Warbringers. I absolutely love those guys. The Hammers of Dawn, another fantastic, awesome-looking chapter. The black and the gold on their symbol is incredible. The Invaders, another awesome symbol. Subjugators, absolutely love Subjugators. Shout out to the White Templars, who were Sons of Dawn, and we don't know who they are now anymore, basically. Are they really Sons of Dawn? Were they ever Sons of Dawn? And of course, the Soul Drinkers as well. Massive shout out to the Soul Drinkers, because they're much like the White Templars, who basically were Sons of Dawn, but are now not Sons of Dawn. But they did answer the last war call in the Beast Arises series. So that, for me, will always say that they are officially a Sons of Dawn force. In my heart of hearts, they will always belong to that Dornian gene line, and I may actually bring them back from the dead in my last war project, but that is another conversation for another day. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. That is my top 5 Successor Chapters for the Sons of Dawn. Of course, as we always do with these things, I would like to know your top 5 Successor Chapters for the Sons of Dawn. I know there's going to be so many salty Iron Warrior comments in the comment section. It's all good. It's all good, because at the end of the day, the Iron Warriors are nothing, and Dawn reigns supreme. That's all you have to remember, fans of the pillar worshiper imperturabo. That is all you have to remember. Dorn reigns supreme. Right, thank you for coming. Thank you for watching this video. As always, leave your thoughts, feedback, everything like that in the comment section down below, and we'll have a little chat down there. See you now, and bye-bye!